What's up, guys? Brent here. I want to make this a short video. We'll call this episode 4 of Dating in Transition. So last episode I talked about how I'm talking to several different women, 5 different women, where I had some dates lined up. And I talked about the reasoning that I do that with online dating, which I'm still learning, by the way. I don't have a lot of experience with online dating at all. I've gone on literally one date with a woman I met online. Yeah, and then I probably would have gone on a second date, or not a second date rather, but another date with another woman I met online. But when I outed myself, she was not interested. So I talked about that. But anyway, I wanted to make this video because I'm really kind of, I'm still kind of texting the 2 women that I'm so interested in. I'm going to go on one date and see how that goes. They're nice, but I'm just really not feeling anything through the texting conversation. And I am super busy, so I don't spend this time, and maybe this is a failure that I'm having with online dating, but I'm not texting all day long back and forth conversation. I don't want to even talk a lot through texting. I want to get to know somebody in person. Like, let's go out for coffee, let's go out for drinks, let's go out for a picnic, let's go out for a hike, let's go out somewhere and talk in person and get to know each other in person. You're busy, hopefully. I'm busy, and my focus is on school, my focus is on working out, it's on meal prep, it's on my animals, it's on keeping my apartment clean, it's on learning and applying and proper sleep, and all these things that are going to benefit my career and my long-term goals and my life, right, which is so important to me to live my life. So if I'm spending all this time texting people all day, which may or may not even end up in a date, that is taking away from time to do the things that I want to do that are going to benefit my future. So anyway, I bring this up because I'm kind of sporadically texting with 2, and then there's one girl that I do really like. I think I like, rather. She's attractive. She sent me some pictures. I find her attractive. I enjoy talking to her. We have things in common. So this video is kind of about that exchange because I haven't heard from her in 2 days. So basically, we started talking to OkCupid. We were talking back and forth for a couple days, had a lot in common. Got to the point where we, started texting. So we texted all weekend and back and forth. And then Monday, we were kind of texting a little bit. I got busy with things, and I didn't respond to her last text, which was it wasn't even anything worth, needed response, okay? So we had been talking about, school. She's in school right now. She's taking her prereq. She's going to go to art school, okay? And so the conversation ended with, I said, well, how many more credits do you have? And she said, a lot. I just started. And I got busy. I never responded to that. And so I did respond yesterday, and I said, hey, happy hump day. Hope you're staying focused, because we talked about that, how she had to focus. It was the end of her semester to the end of my semester. I said, hope you're having a good week. Sorry, I got busy the other day. She didn't respond to that. And I texted her today and this morning, which she hasn't responded to, and that was regarding our date. So I'm going to backtrack here a little bit. We started talking OkCupid. I just told you she's going to art school. She's interested in art. She's a creative person. She's paints, and she's very creative and good like that. So talented like that, rather, in that field. So I told her that I didn't really have much creativity, because I don't. I'm tone deaf. I can't feel the rhythm. I can't dance. I can't draw. I draw something and people are like, oh, what is that? It's really bad. But I told her I used to write. And so anyway, she was kind of intrigued by by the fact that I used to write poetry and short stories. She asked me, and I said, I used to write poetry and short stories. She was intrigued by that, and she was intrigued by the fact we had also been talking about brunch, okay? And she had said, I forget what I asked her, something like, we were talking about interesting facts or something, and she said overpriced brunch. Oh no, that was on her profile, something she didn't like, an overpriced brunch. So I said, well, what's an overpriced brunch? And she said more than $90 for 2 people. I agree with that. That's definitely an overpriced brunch. So I said to her, and this was all, and this all kind of flowed together, the art conversation, the poetry. And I said, I knew a great brunch place. And so the conversation pretty much went to, I'd bring poetry. She'd come out to brunch, but I had to bring poetry. And that she didn't care whether it was mine or someone. She didn't care whose it was. That's what she said. I don't care whose it was, whose it is, just bring poetry. So I said, all right, and granted, I haven't written poetry in 6 years, which I had told her. And I said, okay, cool. So I'll bring poetry, you bring your appetite, and we'll have brunch a week from Sunday. And I said that because I was at my parents' last weekend. And so she was intrigued by that too. She said, oh, a week from Sunday, and you want to do brunch. All right, interesting. And she was down, and she agreed, and we made this date. Anyway, my second text today, fast forward, back to now. Second text today, I said, hey, I've got the poetry ready for Sunday. I hope you have your appetite. How are you doing? And she hasn't responded. So I think it's likely she's not going to respond. And I'm not going to have a date. And this is my point of why I talk to a lot of different women, right? I don't know if she didn't like the fact that I didn't respond right away or keep conversation going. But again, I'm a busy guy. So I think the right woman will be eager to get to know me on a date and eager to talk to me there. And she's not going to ghost me because I didn't text her back the very next day. So I will send her one more text Sunday because I did write this poem. And so if I don't hear from her, again, I'll just send her, just the poem that I wrote, because I wrote this poem. I was inspired by her. So I'm going to share this with you guys, and that's just kind of an update and just kind of letting you know how I do things, how I handle things. And sometimes you get ghosted. Some people just stop talking to you. That's why I talk to a couple different, I would say no more than 5 at a time, but I keep about 3 to 5 options open if I can. Getting to know women, again, if I don't click with them, if we're not compatible in the first date, I'm not going to ask for a second date. I'm not in this to get laid. I'm not in this to waste anybody's time at all. I am truly interested in getting to know women, and I like to date, and dating to me is going out, having fun, and I enjoy that experience, getting to know somebody and having a fun experience with someone you have a crush on and who has a crush on you, ideally. So my poem goes a little bit like this. Pen in hand on a vertical index card, because it's written on a vertical index card. So, pen in hand on a vertical index card, this really shouldn't be so hard. To find words that flow, it was only 6 years ago or so. To find words that flow, after all, it was only 6 years ago or so. I was inspired to use my mind in some kind of creative way, as if a message from above to say, today, online dating may or may not get you brunch, but I have a hunch it will help you grow. So that's it. I'll send that to her, a picture of that, and write it out on Sunday. And if I never hear from her again, I never hear from her again. Hopefully I do, because she is cute. We do have common interests, and I am interested in going on a date with her. But if not, hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Life goes on. And you just got to go out there and have fun and talk to people. Dating is a numbers game. Hope you connect with people. I'm still learning about online dating. Just doing things the way I want to do them. Again, here's beautiful scenery. I love Florida living. You can't complain when you're living like this.